CHICKEN. Use the code CHICKEN in the shop.
Hey guys, welcome back to Clash with Chicken or Chicken Clash, however you want to interpret it. And in today's video, we're actually reacting to a video from my man Echo. He got a interview with the what do we say? Developer and community manager for Project Rise, which is Frank. If you guys have followed the channel for a while, you probably know who he is. And this is really cool because they talk about everything Project Rise, the future of it, and all that good stuff. So we're gonna kind of do a bit of a watch along to what I thought were some interesting parts. And without further ado, let's let him take it away.
It's as simple as that. Now, when you talk about the dream gameplay experience, it's really about bringing the marketing material to life. So if you've seen the Clash animations, it's got this kind of, very energetic, almost Looney Tunes level of vitality kind of thing. And that's what we want to create as an interactive experience. So making sure that the marketing material is what you play.
Are you saying we're having playable Clash-orama?
Maybe.
Nah.
No.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. Clash-orama is a lot of fun for sure. All right, so that makes a lot of sense. I love the idea and the whole concept, at least that we're starting off with right there. Now, I played the pre-alpha, and we need to remember here also, whether you were watching me stream it or other content creators put content out for it, or if you had the chance to test it yourself, a lot of times we forget this is pre-alpha. Most people don't get the opportunity to test out games that early on, and I was actually really surprised on how smooth it played. I
think that's interesting because it's something that I don't probably talk about a lot. Like I put out a lot of Project Rise videos, but yeah, I mean, everything is subject to change. I feel like the name is guaranteed to be changed. The core gameplay could change. Like, pre-alpha is super early. This isn't a beta. Like, most people that look at this, they're probably thinking, like, oh, cool. Clash Heroes is finally in beta. That's not really what it is. Like, the game's still super, super early on. So that's a good point.
I mean, I've played early versions of games before, and there were typically a lot of bugs that you run into, and sometimes even an unplayable experience, which I didn't have with Project Rise. Of course, there were little things that jumped up here and there, but that's kind of expected. So it was so early in development. I love the experience myself. Tell us why you decided to come out as a team so early and share the game at such an early stage, at a pre-alpha. I don't think you guys over at Supercell have ever shared something that early.
No, it's never happened before. I think for us as a team, we really believe in constraints, right? So if you have infinite time, infinite money, you're never going to ship a game. You're going to spend your time just making it better and, just iterating forever, ever after, pretty much. So what we really want to do is just put it out there, get some feedback, validate some assumptions, and make sure that we understand, what people like, what they don't like, any kind of pain points you might experience in the.
So I think we kind of understood that. So let's skip ahead a little bit and jump to the next part of the interview.
Points, and also brings up some interesting elements that we never anticipated.
So that's actually really cool to hear that you. So I guess we could say that it was received really well by the community. They were playing it a lot more than you expected, and you're right. Like, there's only so many times you can climb the ladder and then go down to the bottom of the ladder and then reclimb it before it's the replayability. Obviously, I enjoyed it. A lot of the community enjoyed it, which must have made you guys feel good. Bringing me to my next question. What are some of the main goals or objectives that players are going to be pursuing inside of the game? I know that this tower system that you have is a portion of the game.
Let's actually back it up a bit. I think
We're just going to be able to adapt better to what people want, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about, like, we know, again, like in the company, we also play tested a game. Like, a bunch of people in the company play tested and they give us feedback. But it's different when the game behaves in a real world scenario. Like when you have like a real server with real humans playing for like 3 hours straight and like, let us see what's the flow of this. We watched your streams, we watched other creators' live streams, and we were just like interested to see the emotional investment and reaction to these things. And one thing that blew my mind was that how many people actually came back for day 2, which is also, by the way, totally unexpected, because the game doesn't have 2 days worth of content. Like, it just doesn't. Like, you could beat the game pretty easily, like by unlocking Firecracker, and that would be pretty much it. Like that's all you're gonna get. Like, there's nothing else. Everything is just like like not even extremely fun to replay at that point, especially coming from our game designer from Remnant that was like commenting about this, and he was blown away by the amount of people that came back, and then the amount of people that from NA servers came to Europe was insane as well. Like the amount of people that were invested into like just trying to like crack as many like things into the game and just see how every character plays to a degree where like we didn't even anticipate was pretty mind-blowing. And so yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, again, it validates some points and also brings up some interesting elements that we never even anticipated. So
that's actually really cool to hear that you so I guess we could say that it was received really well by the community. They were playing it a lot more than you expected. And you're right, like there's only so many times you can climb the ladder.
I wanted to zoom in on that because I do think that is, it's hard to say. Like, I don't want to say it's a problem because the game's not done yet. Like, it's kind of stupid to say, like, oh, this is, like, wrong with the game. It's like, yeah, the game's not finished yet. But, from what we did play, I feel like I would get a little bit stale kind of doing the same sort of dungeon run over and over again, which they talk about right here.
And then go down to the bottom of the ladder and then reclimb it before it's the replayability. Obviously, I enjoyed it. A lot of the community enjoyed it, which must have made you guys feel good. Bringing me to my next question. What are some of the main goals or objectives that players are going to be pursuing inside of the game? I know that this tower system that you have is a portion of the game. I'm sure it's going to, in some ways, change. I'm sure there's going to be more built out from it. So what is the pursuit going to look like?
I mean, the main goal is to conquer the tower, right? That's what it's about. No, it's not just about going up the floors, right? There will be additional systems and mechanics all around this to make it a fully fledged experience. But yeah, you try to conquer the tower. Now, the tower is a living thing in a way. So the tower is going to be always evolving, always reconfiguring itself, like changing its own structure, just to make sure that the game always stays interesting. So even though what you have played is just a slice of the experience, the content was very limited, it will be forever changing in a way. So that's what is exciting to us with this concept.
I like that. It sounds like, when I play a lot of action RPGs, I love the genre, so that's kind of how things are. Modifiers, people fighting for leaderboards, time trials, and things like that. So I could see ways that those elements of action RPGs fit into this. With that being said, when you're creating Project Rise, how do you appeal to both the casual player, which I think Supercell does great. I talk about it all the time, having like 3 to 5 minute rounds within their games. You're not having to play a 30-minute session.
The toilet system, right? It just works with mobile games.
Of something you could go play a quick round of Clash Royale or a quick attack in Clash of Clans, quick round in Brawl Stars. I was wondering how you were going to do it, and seeing the tower system in play, it worked, and I think it was a lot of fun. But how do you balance out casual players having enjoyment with the game, as well as, those hardcore grinders with this type of gameplay?
It's always a balancing act, right? We don't really look at the audience as casual players or hardcore players in a way. Like, this is so subjective, and the range is so wide. Every player is different ultimately. Developers talk a lot about easy to learn, how to master. That's not actionable either. It's a great intent, but it doesn't tell you how to do it. So for us, it's about how do we get the essence of, for example, an action RPG or a roguelite experience, boil it down to a 5-minute session. And it's still, on the longer end of it right now. But the runs used to be 15 minutes plus, to give you an idea of how far we've come, just to get the experience on mobile first, and then try to keep it as a mobile session, something that's just, an easy break during the day. But for us, it's about making a fun game.
So it's interesting to see that they're going to take that into account, and it sounds like this is actually really exciting. It sounds like they're going to have a bunch of different game modes. It's not just going to be the dungeon crawler that we played and you guys saw, or maybe some of you played it as well. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at briefly on the future of Project Rise, guys. So let me know what you and make sure you go check out this interview. The whole thing is posted on the channel Echo Gaming. I'll link it down below. So make sure you guys check that out. Watch the whole thing because it's really good. And yeah, you guys let me know what you think down below in the comments. Future Project Rise, pretty cool. See you next one, guys. Chicken out.